Hello, welcome back to e-commerce lecture series, lecture 2, part 4. How e-commerce changed the business, the strategy, the structure, and the process. In this session, we will explore how e-commerce is enabling new strategic approaches, transforming supply chains, and reshaping customer interaction. E-commerce is fundamentally changing the way companies operate. So understanding this shift is critical. We will go into the detail now. So first, the learning objectives of this session. We will analyze the impact of e-commerce on industry structure, explain how industry value chain have been reshaped by digital transformation, understand how firm value chain leverage AI, automation, and cloud computing, and evaluate case studies including Tesla direct-to-consumer DTC model. The key areas of e-commerce transformation include the industry structure. The digital transformation of business ecosystem is fundamentally reshaping industry structure and competitive dynamics. E-commerce is disrupting traditional value chain, leading to this intermediation and re-intermediation of market participants. Businesses are leveraging emerging technologies like AI, automation, and cloud computing to optimize their own internal operation and value chain. This change is creating both challenges, opportunities, and for companies navigating the evolving e-commerce landscape. It's crucial for organizations to understand these key areas of transformation in order to adapt and thrive in the digital economy. So the three key areas of e-commerce transformation is industry structure, industry value chain, and firm value chain. First, we look at the industry structure, the 5 forces model. The 5 forces model is a framework developed by Michael Porter to analyze the competitive dynamics of an industry. E-commerce has reshaped the industry structure by reducing barriers to entry and intensifying competition. We will go through each of the 5 forces, how they impacted by the e-commerce, rivalry among competitors. E-commerce has increased competition as it's easier for new player to enter the market. So new player enter the market. Another is the threats of new entrants. Lower barriers to entry mean more potential competitors can enter the industry. For example, new individuals start selling online. Threat of substitutes. Digital disruption has introduced new substitute products and services. Bargaining power of suppliers. Suppliers now have more direct access to customers. Because they have more direct access to customers, can reduce their dependence on traditional distributors. And number 5 is the bargaining power of buyers. Technology has enhanced the buyers' ability to compare options and negotiate better terms. So we look at the details of the 5 forces of the market. The first is the rivalry among existing competitors. E-commerce has increased the competition globally, not just locally, as customers can easily compare prices online. For example, Amazon's aggressive pricing strategy has forced traditional retailers like Walmart to adapt by launching their own e-commerce platforms to compete. Businesses now face competition from around the world, not just their immediate geographic area. This global competition driven by e-commerce puts pressure on companies to continuously improve their pricing and offering to stay competitive. So, rivalry among existing competitors is important, right? Enabled by the e-commerce to change their strategy, change the way they do business. And now we look at number 2, threats of new entrants. Reduced barriers, rapid scaling, and example, for example, Shein, right? We can look at that in details now. The internet has removed many traditional barriers to starting an e-commerce business, like the need for physical stores and complex logistics. So then almost all companies now can sell online. So the barrier is reduced, right? reduce barrier. Startups can now rapidly scale their operation using tools like dropshipping, cloud computing, and social media marketing. So that's the rapid scaling of startups. We can look at a great example is seen a Chinese fast fashion brand that has scaled quickly with an online only model and AI-driven inventory management. This highlights how new entrants can leverage technology to enter the market and compete with established players. Number 3 of the 5 factors is the threats of substitute products. 5 forces of market. Force number 3, threats of substitute product. For example, Netflix has replaced traditional DVD and cable TV with on-demand streaming, providing a more convenient viewing experience on consumers. Spotify has disrupted the music industry by offering a subscription-based streaming service that has replaced the physical CDs. These new digital platforms are able to disrupt traditional markets by providing more convenient, often subscription-based alternatives to existing products and services. The threat of substitute product is a key competitive force that companies need to consider in their strategic planning. Otherwise, they can be out of business someday. Businesses must be aware of emerging digital platforms that could potentially replace their existing offerings, and they need to adapt their strategies accordingly. So the key point is new digital platforms disrupt traditional markets by offering more convenient, often subscription-based alternatives, on-demand usage for the customers. Now we look at force number 4, bargaining powers of suppliers, direct access to customer, increase the transparency, and we look at example of Alibaba B2B, right? So e-marketplaces like Alibaba.com give suppliers more direct access to customer worldwide. Direct access customer wide. So the suppliers now have more power because they can access directly to customer, reducing reliance on middlemen. Online procurement platforms increase transparency, allowing suppliers to better understand customer needs and preferences. The Alibaba B2B platform enables manufacturers to sell directly to global buyers, bypassing traditional wholesalers and distributors. This direct connection to customer and increased transparency give suppliers more bargaining power in the supply chain. Now we look at factor number 5, the bargaining power of buyers. The bargaining power of buyers, like a price comparison, online reviews, AI recommendations, and we look at example of bookings. Right? Customers today have more power than ever to compare prices to find the best deals across multiple retail. Online reviews also give buyers a significant influence as customer feedback can sway purchasing decisions. AI power recommendations AI power recommendations further empower buyers by helping them discover alternative options that may be better fit their needs. We look at a great example of Booking.com, which allows a traveler to instantly compare hotel prices, putting pressures on hotels to stay competitive on pricing. So now we look at the part 2 of e-commerce change the industry value chain. E-commerce also change the industry value chain in the value creation and change the disintermediation, eliminating middlemen, and also change in re-intermediation. New digital intermediaries created or appear, and also value customer value, enhance the benefit for customer. So a value chain refers to all activities involved in producing and delivering product or service. E-commerce has fundamentally transformed how these activities are organized and who performs them. So industry value chain refers to all the activities involved in creating and delivering the product or service. And e-commerce has transformed how these activities are organized and who perform them. And 4 factors here is the value creation, the activities that produce value for customer, and disintermediation, eliminating the middleman in the supply chain, and re-intermediation, the rise of new digital intermediaries, and customer value, how e-commerce enhances benefits for buyers. So yeah, basically e-commerce change value creation, disintermediaries, re-intermediation, disintermediation, and re-intermediation, and customer value. For example, we look at this intermediation, eliminating the middleman. Eliminating the traditional value chain involves multiple intermediaries between the producers and customer, including the producer, the wholesaler, the retailers, and finally the consumer. So this intermediation refers to the removal of these traditional intermediaries, allowing for the direct-to-consumer DTC, direct-to-consumer business model from manufacturer directly to the consumers. E-commerce has enabled this intermediation by allowing company to sell directly to consumer through their own online platform. So they create platforms. For example, Tesla is an example of company that has intermediated the traditional car sales model by selling directly to consumer through its website, bypassing car dealerships. There are another example, right? Dell Computer. There is another example of company that pioneered the direct-to-consumer model for PC sales, cutting off retailers like Best Buy. The impact of this intermediation is lower prices for consumers and higher margins for manufacturers. Lower prices for consumers, that's better competition power, right? And higher margin for manufacturer, more profit they can invest in their platform and expand that better. Cut off retailer, cut off the mediation intermediary. Now we look at factor number 3 of industry value chain. The industry value chain is re-intermediation, the rise of new digital intermediaries. So re-intermediation is the rise of new digital intermediaries that connect buyers and sellers. Traditional middlemen are declining as digital channels enable more direct connection. But we know new types of digital platforms are emerging that create value through technologies and network effects. For example, we see that Airbnb, look at the example of Airbnb acts as an intermediary between travelers and hosts, replacing traditional hotel booking agencies. Another example is the Amazon Marketplace. Amazon Marketplace enables third-party sellers to reach customers, earning commissions. So we know that traditional middlemen decline, but digital platforms like Amazon, Uber, Airbnb take their place and increasing, creating new business model. Factor number 4 of the industry value chain is technology transformation. Technology transformation. We know that cloud computing provides a scalable infrastructure to support e-commerce operation. Automation enable efficient and streamlined business processes because of technologies. And AI or artificial intelligence enhances decision making and optimizes customer experience. All of these technologies, cloud computing, automation, and AI, all of these technologies have become critical for firms to remain competitive in the e-commerce landscape. So leveraging AI, automation, and cloud computing allows companies to optimize their operation and better serve customers. These technologies have become essential components of competitive e-commerce operation. So now we look at some example of AI and big data in e-commerce. AI and big data are transforming e-commerce, enabling personalized marketing, chatbots, and recommendation engines. Personalized recommendation can increase conversion rate by 35%. You see on the screen, right? And AI chatbot provide 24/7 customer service. And AI-driven inventory management can reduce costs by 40%. Companies like Netflix and Amazon are already leveraging these AI capabilities to improve customer experience and operational efficiency. The key benefits of AI in e-commerce are increased sales, better customer service, and reduce operational cost. Now we also look at one example of automation. In logistics and fulfillment, e-commerce warehouses use robots for picking and packing orders. Examples: JD.com, the fully automated warehouse reduce delivery time and cost, enabling same-day or next-day delivery in many markets. So you know that e-commerce has driven rapid growth in logistics and fulfillment operation. Automation technologies like robot sorting system and autonomous vehicles are being widely adopted to improve the efficiency and speed. At JD.com, fully automated warehouses use robots for picking and packing orders, enabling faster and more cost-effective delivery. This automated system reduces delivery times and cost, allowing same-day or next-day shipping in many markets. The images on this slide, you see, on this slide, provide example of the different automation technologies being used in modern logistics and fulfillment centers. Now we also look at one more cloud technologies that change the company, right? That change the firm value chain. Is the cloud computing, and scalability. Cloud computing allows business to scale their infrastructure flexibilities without heavy upfront investment. So we have the flexibility structure, the global reach, and we can look at example of Shopify. By leveraging distributed service servers in the cloud, business can serve customers globally with low latency. So we can look at Shopify with an example, a great example. It provides cloud-based e-commerce solution that enables small businesses to quickly launch an online store. The key lesson here is cloud computing gives a firm a competitive advantage by reducing costs and improving customer experience. We will look at the case of Tesla direct-to-consumer model, D2C, Tesla direct-to-consumer model. Tesla is a prime example of how companies can disrupt traditional industry by cutting out middlemen and optimizing their supply chain using technology. The company has radically changed the automotive sales and service model by selling directly to consumers online and through their own retail stores. This D2C or direct-to-consumer approach allows Tesla to have tighter control over customer experience and eliminate the inefficiencies of the traditional dealer network. By leveraging e-commerce principle, Tesla has been able to transform a capital-intensive industry like automotive manufacturing and sales. The Tesla model, as shown here in the slide, you can see it's a visual representation of how the company's innovative business model has led to the creation of industry-leading electric vehicles. Tesla really has demonstrated how e-commerce principles can be applied to transform even capital-intensive industries like automotive manufacturing and sales. So in more details, how Tesla changed the auto industry: no dealerships, online orders and customization, AI-driven manufacturing and software update, and IoT. Tesla D2C or direct-to-consumer sales model has disrupted the traditional auto industry, forcing legacy automakers to adopt online sales strategies. By selling directly to customers through its website, Tesla has eliminated the need for traditional car dealerships. Customers can customize their Tesla vehicles entirely online, reducing inventory costs for the company. Tesla leverages AI for predictive maintenance, quality control, and demand forecasting in its manufacturing process. Tesla's cars receive over-the-air OTA over-the-air software updates, allowing the company to continuously improve vehicles' performance without physical modifications. These innovative approaches have had a significant impact on the auto industry, as competitors scramble to adapt to Tesla's disruptive business model. So the key is no dealership. Tesla changed the auto industry with no dealership, online orders and customization, and AI-driven manufacturing and software updates. Car receive over-the-air OTA updates, improving performance without physical modification. So Tesla DTC model disrupt traditional dealership, forcing legacy automakers to adopt online sales strategy. But Tesla still the first, the leader of the chain. Now we have some discussion and interactive exercise. We can do that in the class, or when we have some more time for discussion. So the question is, how has the e-commerce transformed traditional business model in your country? For example, in Vietnam, Germany, France. Think about logistics, retail, payments, or digital platform in your region. And also you can do in group, like pick up an industry, fashion, electronics, travel, or finance, and identify how e-commerce has changed the industry structure, the value chain, and the firm operation, and present in the class, right? You can work in group to analyze how digital transformation has affected its specific industry in your local context. So we have come to the end of this session. We have some conclusion and key takeaways, right? The key takeaway from this presentation covers the major impacts of digital transformation on industry structure, value chain, technology integration, and the real world case study. The first e-commerce has lower barriers to entry, increase the competition, and shift power to consumer in many industries. And for the value chain transformation, the value chains are being reset through this intermediation, cutting out middlemen and re-intermediation with the rise of new digital platforms. And number 3 is the technology integration. Companies are leveraging AI, automation, and cloud computing to drive operational efficiency and deliver more personalized customer experiences. For example, the case we look at the Tesla case study illustrates the power of digital transformation as a company transition to a direct-to-consumer model in a traditional industry. So yeah, that's lots of things, interesting thing in this session. Yeah, thank you for watching. Good health and success. See you in the next video.